Okay, I got some good news and some bad news. All right, here she goes. Let's do it. Pull the choke on. Okay, welcome back YouTube. Welcome back to the silly world of Xlcr custom cycles. Got some presents on the front porch. So we're gonna start here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Nope. Oh, this is dumb. All right, let me take this out back. Okay, so now that I have free hands, welcome back to the garage. And we got Sky waiting for a biscuit. I turn off the music. Little Deftones. Let me get her a biscuit so I can get her out of here. Cause I gotta do man's work. You know, I got men work to do here around here. No girls allowed in here. Hey, I didn't say, listen to me. I didn't say you could do that. You wait till I tell you to do it. That was bad. That was bad girl. Look at me. Bad girl. You don't do it until I tell you to do it. All right. Now go and get. Bad girls don't get two of them, so beat it. Get out of that carburetor. Anyway. All right, guys. So here we are. Back in the garage. Late night. I just got back from taking my mom to dinner. So I'm getting started late. It's Saturday night. If you saw my short, I took my battery out of the 1940 Flathead and put it into Vic's bike with the suspected bad shorted battery. And I got power again. All the lights lit up on the dash. So I just think that I was chasing down electrical problems that evening because I was just bewildered and frustrated. Like, why? It was just running. Why is it now not running? You know, so I was just hunting it down, and here the issue was just an old bad battery, and it just discharged on me coincidentally. That battery was put in back in 2020. So coincidentally, it just imploded on me. So I put my battery in there and it worked just fine. I didn't kick it yet, but it works. But in the interim, I had called Vic and said that, yeah, either way, dude, either way, what direction this goes, you're gonna need a new battery. Because his battery was saying it was defective on my charger, and it was only holding 4.5 volts. It just wouldn't charge up either in 24 hours. So anyway, he got me a new battery. The dreaded Drag Specialty lead acid battery that I hate. Looks like they're only $78 at our local cycle shop. I can't talk, but there they are. Let me pour the acid in this one. I'm pretty sure you got to do all that. Fill these up. I've done a million of them, right? Yeah. They give you a little acid. Yep. I think so. There'll be a little acid bottle in there, and you fill them up, and then you have to trickle charge them for so many hours, blah, blah, blah. So I'll do that. That way I can kickstart this bitch, finish tuning her in, and take her for a ride, put her back together, get it back to Vic. All right. Now, back over to the 1940 Flathead. Now, in my last video, I talked about the acid overventing out of the battery, and it bleached up my transmission. Could have ruined my paint, but it didn't. I got lucky. You know, I hadn't put any thought into it of why it's doing that. Hadn't put any thought into troubleshooting. But this is why I love filming YouTube, because I have so many great guys. And there's so many better mechanics out there that are watching what I'm doing and help me out. So my good buddy, and he's helped me out numerous times before on this channel and gave me great advice. But my buddy, before I even had time to think about troubleshooting what my issue was here, my buddy Don Rice, in my comments, the day I published this, that morning, hit me up and said, Slick, your generator, the 32E, is overcharging your 6-volt battery. That's why it's overventing. Yeah, because naturally, and I agreed with him, like, you're totally right. If that was overcharging the battery, it's going to cook the acid. It's going to cook the acid, and it's going to overflow out of the battery. But I didn't even think of that yet. I didn't have a time to troubleshoot it. So thank you, Don Rice. You are the man. And now I know what direction to go in without even thinking. See? That's how cool YouTube is. Now, I'm still going to prove it. I want to prove if he's wrong or right. I am going to put my battery in here. I'm going to start this bike up. I'm going to see what voltage is coming back to this battery at 3,000 RPMs to see if it's giving it over voltage to cook the battery while I'm running. And because it was happening on long rides, like the day me and Billy went out. Well, the day me and Billy went out on Old School Sunday. In that video, I'll pop up a picture right here. But in that video is when I first seen an acid explosion like that. So it would make sense. We traveled for a good distance. I'm not saying we went, across the country, but we went for a good distance, let's say a half hour at a time at high speeds. And when I'm talking high speeds, I'm talking 50, 55 miles an hour. I was even hitting 60 with this bike. Half-hour clips, and that would give it enough if it was overcharging that generator, it would give it enough voltage to start to bubble up the battery acids in that stupid lead acid battery. Hate you. So I'm going to check to make sure that Don Rice is correct, and if it is over voltaging, you can adjust the 32E. You can turn the brushes in or out to give you more or less voltage. So I'll see if I can correct the situation that way. Or could it be my cutout relay? I forget if they cut out whether or not it feeds voltage to the battery. I don't believe so off the top of my head. A cutout relay helps when you shut the bike off that it doesn't bleed or discharge one way or the other. I forget, don't quote me. Read the manual. I have a manual. I read it all the time. Anyway, so I just want to prove if Don is right or wrong. And he's probably right because Don Rice is a very smart guy. But Don Rice also would like to see me convert this bike over to a 12-volt system, which then I could get rid of this type of battery. It would eliminate these types of problems because you can make your life easier if this was a 12-volt converted system. I just never liked what the regulators look like. I just never liked what the generators look like with this funky regulator on the outside of them. It didn't look OEM original to me. I don't like what they did with the distributors when they were 12 volt, blah, blah, blah. But he's telling me about ways around that there are certain companies that sell hidden things that you can't even tell it's a 12. If I can find that type of stuff, I will then convert this over because I understand. But if I just have a simple problem that I can fix on my own 32E generator, that'll solve my overcooking of my battery, I will do that. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it's just what you go through with old 6-volt system bikes. It is what it is. As I said before, I'm a purist. I like the 6-volt system. Just hate lead acid batteries. Then I had a guy in my comments, wish I could remember your name. I think your name is Jim, that talked about a guy at the Ole swap meet that sold 6-volt sealed batteries. And now, then you also went on to say that you lost his phone number. I've never seen them, a 6-volt maintenance-free battery. So I'd love it if you'd find that guy's phone number And I'll be at Ole this year, so in April, if I see this guy that has these, but you don't even know if he makes them anymore, you don't have his number, I would buy one. But I don't know if they exist. I got to take your word for it, Jim. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just calling me a non-believer because I'm a show me kind of guy. Apologize for that, but I'll just take your word for them that they exist. I just never seen them yet. All right, let me get to some work. Let me get Vic's battery all charging up. Oh, that brings me to another little gift that was on the front porch. My buddy Zuber dropped me off. He said he had a carburetor laying around. Donated Slickhead Cycles. He dropped me off this. This is it's a Keen or Kine. I do not know how to pronounce the carburetor. I never known how. I know Harley uses these carbs. They've been using them since the 70s, maybe even earlier, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Keen, Kine. I want to hear somebody else pronounce it so I know what I'm doing. If I'm pronouncing it right, let me know. I just always call them Keen. Okay, sorry about that. Screw you, GoPro. It cut out on me in mid-sentence. So that's the carburetor Zuber gave me. It definitely is off of Harley. It says Harley on the throttle cables spring, butterfly spring. All right, so I gotta get to work on that. Get his battery in. I'll get my battery back in. I gotta get it started, check to see what it's doing. Adjust the generator, but let's run over here real quick. Last night, the bat cycle here, the 77 Xlcr racer. I guess I should specify in every video on each bike, I should specify that they're not my motorcycle, because a lot of people will say to me, oh, I like your bike, your bike's cool. I got to specify if it's a friend, family, or customer's motorcycle. I mean, I own 7 motorcycles, and so I will specifically say when it's my motorcycle, or when it's a friend's motorcycle, or if it's a family member's motorcycle, or if it's a customer motorcycle. So I guess I'll have to point that out specifically every time I point at a motorcycle, just so I don't get those confusing comments. All right, so last night, Friday night, I got the brush holder mounting plate back in, greased the needle bearing, put it all back together. So she's ready to go with the clean commutator now. And then with Billy's battery. So I just got to also, in the next couple of days, I got to clean his points, install his new battery, and I want to start this thing up and do a generator output test. I want to see what's coming back first. That's how this originally started. I just wanted to test the motorcycle for myself to see what's going on, but I couldn't with a dead battery. All right, let me get to work and I will get back to you people. Okay, welcome back from that time-lapse video. I'm done tripping, but anyway, got the new battery filled up with the acid. I let it sit for an hour, leave the caps on loose, and you charge it up for the adequate time that they want you to charge it up for. Real quick, I'm going to write on here the date. So, I mean, let's face it, we're all getting old. It's best to mark your batteries when you installed them because we just can't remember anymore. We're old. But anyway, let me show you, I might as well show you a little product review because I really dig the charger that I bought. I bought this charger off of Amazon because I had to charge my lithium battery when I first got it, so I needed a special lithium battery charger. Well, this one charges lithium batteries. They give you certain batteries. Lithium, 12 volt. All right, it's 12 volt, 12 volt acid, or hold on, I can't read. All right, so the battery charges 12 volt acid, 12 volt lithium, and then where the white light is, that's 6 volt. So when I saw it did 6 volt, I was like, oh, I need this charger because I can do lithium and 6 volt batteries. Perfect. So it's a NoCo Genius 1. It's on Amazon. It wasn't that expensive. I think $75. But it's great. Great charger. And so you have all those modes. You cycle through. This mode button gets you through all those. But it tells you, like I saw when Vic's battery was discharged, shorted. After 24 hours of using this charger, I came home after work. And there's a LED right here where my thumb is. And that shows that the battery was defective inside, internally. So I was telling you to replace it. And it was. But anyway, just want to do that little product review. And like I said, this is the style plug for a lithium battery. And it also has the plug for regular 12 volt battery. But there she is. She's charging up. I'll be able to get that battery in there tomorrow. Maybe get to kickstart it and go back to tuning it again and ride it. So now that I have my battery back in my bike, I will be able to start it up, test it out. Now, as I was talking about before, put the light on, with my 32E generator, the voltage output is adjustable. The brush plates turn. And when I had a charging problem with this bike, like 3 years ago, first year I owned it, it wasn't charging the battery. The battery would go dead on me when I was out taking rides. So I'm like, damn it. So I get in my manual and I start reading into the book. I read in about the generator. So what I did is I took the generator apart and I adjusted the brush. Well, I don't even think I adjusted them. If I did, it was a smidge. But it was at their total output it could. If my memory serves me correctly, it was at the most output it could put out. So I didn't even have to adjust it. I was like, okay, that's doing what it can do. And then I'm looking at the print, reading the book. And so I got over here to the current relay and I went to go troubleshoot it. I pulled the cover off and there was a piece of shipping cardboard in here separating the contact points in here during shipping. So apparently when the person that put this engine together the first time and they put the cutout relay on, they didn't even open this for one, and they didn't remove the shipping I don't know what to call it. The shipping material that protects the contacts in there, they didn't remove it. Because once you remove that shipping material, you then have to set up the points in this cutout relay. There's certain gaps that they require. Like 17 thousandths, 20 thousandths, it's in the manual. It's in the FLATHEAD manual. So once I found that, I'm like, idiots. So I set up the points, and everything worked fine since then on this bike. I've had it out for plenty of rides and it never overcharged the battery and puked out acid before. And once I set up the cutout relay and checked the generator, I started this bike and I was running it and I was revving it. I was revving it up to, you know, giving it revs, you know, trying to get it up to 2,000 RPMs. And when I would rev it up high to 2,000, I would see the voltage coming back to this 6-volt battery. Like, I would see it hit 9. I think I comfortably remember it would hit like 9 volts. So I was like, okay, that seems normal. So I'm charging now. So I would take it out on rides and my battery wouldn't leave me stranded. So I fixed the problem in my mind. So now fast forward to a couple years later now, 2 years later, I'm overcharging the battery and puking out acid, which bleached my transmission. So Don Rice pointed that out to me, and I'll find out in the next couple days if it is actually overcharging. And then what's good about that is, like I said, I made sure that that generator was at its full output potential. So I don't know how it would have changed between that year and this year to over voltage me, but I know I can decrease the voltage on that generator if need be with that battery, but we'll see. So, all right, let me take you guys over to the other shed. Hang on a minute. Okay, welcome back to Slick's House of Batteries, where we do nothing but battery repairs here at this garage. Yeah, isn't it funny that when a friend or customer's battery comes over here, it doesn't work, it doesn't, you know, put out any voltage, but my batteries are getting overcharged. Like most batteries over here, they can't get charged. But then when it comes to my bikes, they overcharge them. Does anybody see the irony in that? But anyway, so back to the bat cycle. Tomorrow, I will be able to put this battery in there, which, by the way, is a pain in the ass because they made this hole, which I think is the worst hole ever for a battery, because you have to, obviously the leads aren't long enough, you have to put the negative side on the battery first, which you don't do that in the real world. You put the positive on first and then the negative so you don't go welding yourself to something. But with this bike, you have to put the negative on first, slip it in there, and then carefully put the positive on without arcing and sparking all over the place. So what a horrible design that is. And there's no way over there that you can do the positive side first and the negative over there because of the oil tank. Horrible design. I don't know what they were thinking. Whatever. Send an email to Willie G and complain. Let's see what he does for you. But all right. Okay, welcome back from that time lapse. I'm sorry you had to see me freak out like that, but I couldn't find my anti-seize. Pisses me off when I can't find something. But anyway, in the time lapse, you've seen me clean the points. I cleaned his points up with my points files, hit it with the air hose, blew it out, and then hit it with some electronic cleaner and a white cloth to clean it all up. And I greased the cam lobe in there. So his points are all ready to go. Cover's back on. His battery is sitting at 13.1 volts. So that's our baseline. I'll write that down. I'm going to throw that up in here now, and she'll be ready to go. Get started, get testing on her. So let's do that. Okay, as I said it was going to be, this battery was going to be a pain in the balls to put back in because you have to do the negative first, then the positive last. And while I was in here, I had to take it back out because his return oil line, his return oil line just popped right off because the worm gear clamp was just loosey-goosey. So take the battery back out, put that back on, tighten that clamp, and then get this sucker back in there. But she's in there, she's ready to go. Now I need to polarize the generator. Anytime you disconnect a battery or you disconnect a generator, you have to repolarize the generator. You have to get the polarity to go in the right direction, or else it won't charge right back to the battery. You have to flash it. You have to polarize it to get it to charge properly. All right, I just wanted to show you that. Oh, and real quick, just a quick shout out to my buddy Ralph over at It's My Time, Let's Go. This goes out to his missus. I just want to apologize. I got my hands dirty messing with that battery. She had made a joke saying that, why are my hands so white when I'm working on bikes? I don't know. They get dirty. So I apologize, Mrs. Ralph. It's My Time. Let's go. All right. Let's see. All right. Time to repolarize the generator. Okay. So let's not overthink repolarizing your generator. Just look in your manual. It'll tell you how to do it. In this case, for 77 and earlier, when you're doing a polarization of the generator while it's on the bike, hooked up to a regulator, which this is, you connect a wire from the armature, the A terminal on the generator, and then take that wire and momentarily touch the positive. And I believe you typically can hear a clunk noise. I think you can hear a little clunk. And that's it. That's all you got to do, and then you're repolarized. So let's do it. Where's my I made a little wire, a jumper wire for there it is. For years ago for repolarizing generators. Just put an alligator clipped on one end. Okay, I'm going to put this on the A terminal on the generator, which stands for armature. Don't touch the side of the frame. I got to make sure that doesn't touch. But then I'm going to drape this over the bike to flash it to the positive terminal. Now, I do believe you hear a clunk in the generator. But this is, well, that's all you got to do. I heard it. I can hear it going, clunking in there. So that's it. The generator is repolarized. So that's done. So now she's ready to be tested. She's ready to be ridden, tested. Figure out why she's not charging back to the battery. My money is on the regulator. I think the regulator might be bad. So I didn't see anything too toxic in here, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to do a generator output test, which will tell me what this is putting out. It's supposed to put out a certain voltage. I should look that up for you guys. Nah, I'll just do the test. But all right, that's it. That's how you repolarize your generator. Okay, welcome back. It's the next day. It's Monday. It's cold again. It's in the 40s. So much for the warm spring weather. Oh, I'm tired. Had a miserable day at work, but here we are. Panhead's ready to get kick-started and tuned and ridden. My bike's ready to get kick-started. And check out the generator and electrical system. Everybody's ready to go. But because the bat cycle is the easiest one to do, let's go start that one up. Let's start the bat cycle up, since I don't have to kick it. All right, let's start the old bat cycle up. Let me hook up the voltmeter to the battery, just so I can see what it's charging back once I get it started. All right. You know, you can't ever get anything done around here. Oh, would you look at that? It's my old buddy Ralph from It's My Time, Let's Go. Yo, Ralphie.
Hey, Slick, how you doing down there?
Well, I'm pretty busy, man. Yeah, well, hold on, Ralph. I'm in the middle of filming. But,
Well, all right then. I'll get back to you. Give me a call when you're done that crap.
Well, hang on a minute. You might as well say hi to the Slickhead audience. Hey, everybody. This is Ralphie from It's My Time, Let's Go. Say hi, Ralph.
Hey, hi, Ralph. How you doing, everybody, all Slick's people? Good calling from the Great White North up here.
Yep. Yeah. Stick to your day job. Don't try to be a comedian, but that was pretty funny.
All right, there you go.
But, Ralph, give me a few minutes. I'll call you back. Let me start this bike.
Cool, all right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you, bud.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's Ralphie up there in Canada. It's My Time, Let's Go on YouTube. He's a good dude. He's a really good mechanic. Go check out his channel. But let me get back to this thing. Let's start it up. All right, here she goes. Let's do it. $12.8. Pull the choke on. guys, you see where we're at.
Let's talk about it.
It's not charging back. Let me turn my boy T-Bone off. Alright, so you see where we're at. The bad cycle is not charging back. You've seen at 2,000 RPMs, 3,000 RPMs, it was still just staying at 12.8 volts. In fact, it was dropping even lower. And you seen the generator light was on, so she's definitely not charging back to the battery. So the next thing I'm going to do, as per the manual, is do a generator output test to determine whether it's the generator's fault or the regulator's fault. I'm just not going to willy-nilly replace a regulator if it's not bad, you know. So let's check that. All right, it's the next day. I had a much better day at work, even though I was fixing an ice machine in a prison. That's never fun, but I had a pretty good day. I would much rather be kickstarting the Panhead right now and taking her for a ride, but it's pretty cold out. It's like 40 degrees. Weird weather. So let me just get back onto the bat cycle, do this output test. Probably have to take off the cowling to get to the regulator. Let's get this bike done so Batman can ride it. All right, let me get set up. I'll be right back. Okay, I got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is I just went ahead and started working on the bat cycle because I was tired of filming stuff. I just wanted to figure shit out, and I did. So the good news is I did find shit out. So anyway, I was going to do the generator output test. I even got my old DC amp meter out. I was going to set it all up. So I said, let me go ahead and take this cowling off of this bike because I was very scared to do that. And I did, and man, was it scary. Because the two studs I was telling you about, how this one broke in the past, you can see it's the JB weld that they used is all cracking and flaking, and I just didn't want it to break off. And then I was petrified. I was so afraid to drop this thing or scratch this thing. I did not want to damage it at all. I don't know if you can see it, but man, was I scared to handle this thing. I didn't want to get it all scratched up or anything. And then you got spidering going on. Spidering in the paint. And I just didn't want the paint to flake off from a man's cowling, you know? It's so beautiful. So that was a little scary, but I got it off. So, as we all suspected, because then the regulator sits here on this mounting plate that goes across. We all suspected the regulator was going to be the problem. So I pulled it off and went to his manual. In the manual, it tells you how to ohm out the regulator. You should have resistance between the orange and tan wire on the regulator plug. And I do not. There's a lot of corrosion in there, but I scratched away so my meter leads could touch it. I get no resistance between the two. And then it says you should swap them for the other set, and you should get a high resistance. And I do not. I get nothing. No resistance at all. So, bad regulator. the book tells you that if you suspect it's bad, swap it out with a known good one. Yeah, well, I don't have brand new ones laying around that I could just swap in there. I could go steal one off of old Black Betty, my 79, but I don't feel like it. Called Billy. He'll pick one up tomorrow. So, regulator's bad. Pop that back on up there and start it up, and it should be charging back to the battery nicely. Now, his flasher he gave me, this, you can't use this signal flasher on this bike. Got into the manual, determined that this is the signal flasher on a 77 Cafe Racer. Well, on all 77 models, this is the signal flasher. It's a little square one. So I told him, this ain't gonna work, so. But I did tell him that look at the rust on these terminals. Super rusty. So I said, before you buy one, even though he did find them, he found them on eBay. You can get brand new ones. Let me sand this up. Sand that terminal up. That's bad. And see if that changes anything. Maybe it'll work if I just sand up the terminals. So that'll be easy. Yeah, I had to check the oil and stuff like that, and I went ahead and asked his permission to take that seat off. I was afraid to take that seat off, that the snaps would just break through the fiberglass. You know, I'm just petrified. I don't want to be the cause of any paint flaking off his bike or scratches, you know, because this thing is just so rare. So that's that. Just needs a new regulator, and we'll be back in business. And then Batman will be able to take this down the road. Unfortunately, I'm not going to put it in this video because this one's getting long, and I can only squeeze so much in. So that'll be the end of this bike in this video. Maybe I'll go start the panhead tomorrow. If I can, if there's some warmer weather, I'll add that to this video. If not, tune back in next week and you'll see plenty of stuff going on. This bike running, and if it's charging back, I'll take it for a ride. Then Batman will take it for a ride. I want to go ride the panhead, so you'll see all that in next week's video. So I'm going to leave you here with this on this bike. It's definitely the regulator is the issue. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. All I got to do is wire this battery back in, put all those little chrome accent pieces on, and I got to polarize the generator on this bike, and then she'll be ready to start and ride. I'll probably do that in next week's video. I want to apologize for this video being slow and boring, but it's all I got this week, man. It's been cold outside. It's cold right now. It's only in the 40s today, low 40s. So hopefully next week's video will be better. Maybe take the Bat Cycle for a ride, the 77 Xlcr Racer, Cafe Racer, and this bike, and maybe troubleshoot my 1940 Flathead. So I'm going to end the video here. Go check out my boy's Hippie at Hippie's Chopper Corner. He's on fire right now. He's having a little viral moment. His videos are going through the roof. You know, go check out Ralph at It's My Time, Let's Go, and Gus at This Old Chopper. Go check out all my usual suspects. And if you like the content you see here and you want to help support me, you can sign up to the Slickhead Savage Club membership. It's only $5 a month. It's like buying me a beer once a month. You don't get much, but it helps keep me motivated and keep me going in this YouTube world. So I really appreciate the members that are subscribed. But I'm going to end it here. We'll have a better time next week. I'll talk to you guys later.